for me, Sunday, I power some go credit for and on TV. I share the Brèäk, and there's almost some for another sorry. When you update, but that say at the mouth, some whom say the letter say, and some pound one. Me borrow more the anam, call a year. Asiedu Nkatia Cąught NDC Church of Open and then all the and I said, Chairman, Edmire NDC. And I'm one young winnie obey NDC Titani pet. I know I wish for him, Russian with the few. Yes, some Russian with the fee. And pay for Madame Russian with the few. Our way people NDC when I say, Dom Kumana, no, that NDC all parliament and only chairman, I answer to you. We are paid who attention about to party, you say, oh, I know society, let's go, was a Monyokono document of Monkrata, somebody be beyond the Unaka private jet, the helicopter. Pa oko Canada and I would just ask you for concern the party sana I TD in any moment going to put in Embra. About once also for you for your comment section like a comment, share the crack your notification to also the subscribe my between I'm just another aha Nanano TV
has jetted off to Canada to be with his family in the heat of the confusion. I told you that he doesn't care. He's taking his decision. He's gone. He really doesn't care. Oh. He's chairman of the party. That's the decision he's taking. You work with it or you leave it. He's gone to Canada. You can please yourself. He'll be back. He's not going to go for long. He'll be back. By the time the parliament resumes, he will be here. He's a member of the Parliamentary Service Board appointed by...
In some PTV
very weird decision. If I'm sitting in the NDC leadership, and this is the time when all this issue about COVID expenditure, is playing out, where Auditor General's report is playing out. Look at the issues, National Cathedral issue is playing out and so on. What you do is you go and throw in this letter. Incredible. This letter is strange. I mean, to say the least, so very strange.
So if you are a party serious in fighting and winning elections, you must put your best foot forward so that you can win the debate. You can't just go and be telling people that the economy is in shambles, the economy is in shambles when you are not able to put your experts there to be able to communicate to Ghanaians how you do things better.
It gets worse.
Okay.
I mean, when this statement had been released and the backlash started unfolding, now we started hearing reasons why this was done.
Okay.
Oh no, boy.
The 2024 election is going to be fought around the economy. So the debate basically is going to be about the economy. You know it and I know it.
Oh no, boy.
The truth of the matter is that the 2024 election is going to be fought around the economy.
Okay, if that is the case, then perhaps we need the most qualified economist to lead the pack. If it's about your academic qualification and so on, is Atufosin the most qualified economist in Parliament?
The 2024 election is going to be fought around the economy.
And I'm not exaggerating. I spoke to about 10 members of Parliament from the minority side. None of them knew that this was going to happen.
All right, no, that's sorry, that was a little mistake at the beginning. Sorry about that. But that's just a montage. Okay, let's continue with the stories now. Now, more fallout. So we are looking at all the fallouts from the decision of the leadership of the National Democratic Congress, led by Johnson Asiedu Nkatia, to make some changes in Parliament. Now, here's Alhassan Suhuyini, a member of Parliament for Tamale North. And he's writing on his social media platform, and I want to walk you through what he says. So it starts as follows. Next time, please put Suhuyini's photograph there. He says, like life, death and taxes, change is the other constant. Therefore, I'm not against constructive changes born out of an exhaustive consultation process involving key stakeholders of the party to our front bench as a minority group. Clearly, he says, however, that is not what has happened. No matter how well-intentioned it may be, worst of all, whoever is advising the strategy of the proposed new leaders is feeding into a normal human extreme greed and selfishness, perhaps because those people are unable to untame their greed too. This is heavy from Suhini, the second paragraph. Let's look at it again. He says, clearly, comma, that is not what has happened, comma, no matter how well-intentioned it may be, full stop. Worst of all, he continues, whoever is advising the strategy of the proposed new leaders is himself feeding into a normal human extreme greed and selfishness. Well, Suhini, human extreme greed and selfishness is not normal. So, Alaji, please don't say this. It's not normal. The things you are saying, human extreme greed and selfishness cannot be normal. It's not normal. So, well, let me read it again. It's feeding into a human extreme greed and selfishness, comma. Perhaps, he says, because those people are unable to untame their greed too. So he's identifying two groups of greedy people. Those who are making the decision, supporting the decision with strategy, and those who are themselves implementers of the decision. He's identifying both groups as greedy. Well, we don't know. Continue. He says, given the composition of our caucus as against our opponents and the expectation of what we can achieve together and the reality of what we cannot, even if we are together, it will take extreme greed and selfishness to want to lead this NDC caucus at all costs at this time, without a toss about long-term consequences on the caucus and the party. So he is angry. He says, I wonder why it seems people think they can intimidate the entire caucus into submitting to an authority we consider inappropriately constituted. Some may, he says, but not majority of us. And it's not personal, it's conviction. It is principled. Wow. Wow. Viewers, wow. Wow, 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 wow. It hasn't ended. So, Lawyer Egbenya then comes up and says, some good points raised, Honorable, speaking to Suhin. He said, I'm just wondering, how does the current mode of changing the leadership differ from those of the past, especially the one that brought the outgoing leaders into office? So he promptly replies. He says, Lawyer Egbenya, I will tell you, regional caucuses were made to vote. General Mosquito was the elected commissioner, and Honorable Ernest Nogbe was the returning officer in the D.F. Annan Auditorium of Parliament. That's how we settled on the current leaders. Fantastic. Comes back to my point about Ofusu Ampofo's leadership, General Mosquito's leadership. Apparently, we are now finding out, we are not part of the caucus, so we don't know. But Hassan Suhini is telling us and we believe him. Now, he's saying that in the first instance, in the 4th January 2021 that Sam George referred to, this is what happened. Regional caucuses were made to vote that he, General Mosquito, the one who is taking unilateral decisions today, the one who is taking undemocratic decisions today, he, General Mosquito, he was the electoral commissioner for that process. And Honorable Ernest Nogbe was the returning officer at the D.F. Annan Auditorium where votes were cast. Regional representatives were made to cast ballots to determine whether Idrisu Haruna will be the leader, whether Aveji will be the deputy leader, whether Mubarak Muntaka will be the whip. All of that decision was made. Put back the photograph of Ofusu Ampofo and General Mosquito, and let me make the point. It feeds into that same point. That's the leadership of Ofusu Ampofo, which the NDC have gladly rejected. And this is the leadership of Johnson Asiedu Nkatia, which the NDC have elected.